All right, there's some rough stories in the Old Testament, and I appreciate that you don't shy away from them. Your new book, Becoming God's Family, you actually tackle some of these really gnarly stories in Judges and other places in the Old Testament as a way of illustrating something. And so I wonder if you'd say a general comment about some of those rough stories, particularly in Judges, but then there's two specific ones that got mentioned here. One is in Genesis, actually. It's Lot offering his daughters, a very, very rough story in Genesis 19. Jephthah's daughter, his hasty vow there in the book of Judges, Judges 11. Maybe, and feel free to treat them differently, but there are some common threads we're meant to notice, or are there, how do you read that?
Yeah, I think sometimes Christians are reading along in the Bible and they think we're just supposed to be okay with everything that happens. And so we come to a story like that and we're shocked that God would allow such things. But usually stories like that are being told to show us how bad things get when we don't play by God's rules. When we violate his commands, this is how bad things get. So this is not at all trying to say, go out and do likewise. It's the opposite of that. So if you're feeling discomfort with something that you read in the Bible, I want to encourage you to pay attention to that and lean into that. Don't try to silence your inner voice that's bothered by a particular story. Listen in and say, okay, God, what is going on here, and how can this story help me learn more about you and the way you want the world to be? So the Sodom and Gomorrah story is just bad. I mean, things are so bad in Sodom and Gomorrah that instead of offering hospitality to an out-of-town visitor, these men are pounding on the door saying, send us the guests so that we can have sex with them. Like they're wanting to rape the guests instead of offer hospitality. So it's just showing how bad things have gotten. And the story is then mirrored at the end of Judges, where you have a visitor to the town of Bethlehem, and he was in Bethlehem, and then he's on his way home. He stops in Gibeah, and men are pounding on the door saying, send us out your guests so that we can have sex with him. And this is not just, business as usual. We're supposed to notice, wait, this is the same thing that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. This community that was completely oblivious to God's commands and were just grabbing whatever they wanted. Now, that used to be like the pagans lived like that, and now the people of God are acting like that. And this is what happens when you let go of covenant faithfulness. So in the fall, we had this great series on the 10 Commandments, working through how does God want us to live. The book of Judges is case study after case study for what happens when we don't keep those commandments. And so the farther you get in the book, the worse it gets. And we're not just supposed to be like, oh, okay. We're supposed to feel nauseous when we read these stories. Wow. We're supposed to be shocked. And it should motivate us to live differently and to say, okay, I don't want to be that kind of community.
That's a remarkable realization that God is trying to say the problems with the world are not just in the world, they're also in the people of God.
Yeah, it was the original #Church2.
Yeah,
movement, right?
Like us
# Israel too or something.
Yeah.
Like it's the stuff that's happening out there where they don't have the covenant and they haven't met Yahweh and he hasn't redeemed them. It's happening right here